Happy Saturday morning, beautiful people. This is Friday Night Lights on Air, where the students of the game and class begins now. Gather round and ye will hear. Welcome in. Grab your cup of coffee, okay? I've had my coffee. Jett has like 18 different forms of liquid here. Jett, show them off. He's got sparkling water still and coffee. I mean, this is just a prime time right here. I'm your host, Gentry Neese, joined here by Jett Wilson. Jett, how are you feeling on this Saturday morning?
You know, I'm used to getting a nice compliment. I guess I didn't deserve it this morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So. Asterisk, take two. Joined here by future Franklin High Hall of Famer Jett Wilson.
I'm feeling great today, guys.
That boosts you up a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to like and subscribe, okay? You can also listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. We'll be there, okay? Students of the Game TN is the Instagram handle, tacking@gmail. Send us some questions, okay? We're just edging for a fireside chat. Jett.
Oh, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
we really do need some questions.
We need some questions. Get the juices flowing. You know,
challenge us
a little bit. Yes, absolutely. Challenge the students. Okay. We're going to jump right into this Mount Juliet and Franklin game. The final score, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Mount Juliet 30, Franklin 27. And Jett, we've had wins this season and we've had losses, but I don't know if there was more of just a gut punch of a loss or just the way this was one of the worst just ways to lose. And it made me feel for the boys because they just played amazing. I'm gonna get your initial thoughts before I get into it on just how just good these boys played. And you hated it came out on a 3-point line.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. It's just a crushing loss. The boys did so many good things.
Yes.
We really felt like they deserved to win.
Exactly.
And it just didn't go our way at the end. You hate to see a game come out like that, but you know, it's football. And the same thing that I've said before, this is not the biggest game of the season.
Yes,
it's
correct.
not. And there's so many good things that I think we can continue to build upon.
Yes.
Going forward, going to John Overton, going to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And that gets me very excited.
Emphasize playoffs there, because that is, it's like we've said so far, like there will be more games. Playoffs is when it happened. So I'm actually glad to see us figure a lot of the stuff out before the playoffs, and that encourages me going into it.
I think at this point in the season with the team that we have now, it's kind of like even the game, like a Mount Juliet non-conference game, a John Overton a conference game against a lesser opponent. These are kind of just practices for the playoffs.
Yes,
like
exactly.
How can we improve? How can we fix the little things so that when it comes time for playoffs, we can make a run?
I am going to give a specific player shout out before we even start, okay? Because as you know, we show some highlight plays. We're going to show you guys some plays, the most we've ever seen. These big plays just left and right. We're going to show you a lot in store. So get your popcorn ready. But I will preface it with most of them involve Mr. 80-20 himself, Lucas Young. We've coached Lucas since he was in 5th grade. We've watched Lucas since he was playing as a freshman, and we've watched him play a million times. We've watched a million games of him, and I don't think that I ever have seen him. This is the best game I've seen him have in his career, and that's saying a lot because he has a lot of really good games. Would you agree? How fun was it watching him play last night? I mean, he was like, it was like watching a man amongst boys.
It was. I would love to see his stat line. Stats haven't come out yet. Yeah. He had to have 12, 15 catches. Close to 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kick return touchdown. Man, dude just balled out. And like we expect Lucas Young to ball out. That's the player he is. That's who he's proved that he is. But he took it to another level last time. And, so Gage texted me.
Okay, shout out Gage.
After the kick return, middle brother. Side note, Gage traveling down to see Gage play.
There we go. Come on now.
Road Swanee, tune in. It'll be a good one.
Good tune in.
Gage texted me at halftime. Or no, after the kick return. He said, what is this, GMS?
It's like he's playing middle school. And look, he made everybody else look like middle schoolers.
If you don't know, Lucas Young in like 6 games in middle school probably had like 30 touchdowns. So he was like, he had 3 touchdowns a game in middle school. He was just so much better than everyone. He did it so easily, and that's what it looked like last night.
Kyle Shanahan has the outside zone scheme. Okay, we've seen college coaches have the air raid. Coach Keaton at GMS with Lucas had the Lucas Young game. Like that is where the ball was going, and it was making it happen.
I got some players on my side.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Andrew Dixon on defense.
He's so good.
Wow,
so good.
He played so great last night. 2 big PBUs, one in the end zone, a big tackle for loss on a screen pass. Did a really good job when he was tasked with coming up in the run. So on that edge, did a good job coming up. Really like to see how well Andy played last night. Also, the offensive line.
Yeah.
They really performed
so much time.
well.
You're going to see it in the plays we show. I mean, how much
these,
time? Yes.
Yeah, a shell around.
Yes, that's perfect.
Some of the best blocking I've seen the entire season. Made a lot of those plays to Lucas and Wills. Wills balled out.
Yes.
Man. Wills just had such a great game, but made those plays possible because of their blocking up front.
I love that, and I'm so proud of them. But if there was really only one thing to kind of point at on why it ended up not going our way. Last game we talked about Ravenwood, there was just so many penalties all over the place that put us in bad spots. I wouldn't even necessarily say this game, it was the amount of penalties. It was just so happened that the refs decided to call the penalties in the worst possible times for Franklin. We're going to talk about it specifically when we get into plays, but there were, 4th down stops where we were getting flagged for late hits that gave them the first down. Yeah. There were touchdowns called back, right? There were 1st and 10s in the red zone that now turned into 1st and 20s. And so it happened in the worst possible times, which is always frustrating to see because it's of course, that's when they decide to call it.
For sure. And especially the holdings because
that happens if you watch offensive lineman, you could call it.
Yeah, it's high school football. There's somebody who can call it. And a lot of them happened when Brewer was scrambling outside the pocket, trying to keep the play going, make something happen. And that is a time when holding happens. But they did that too. They were scrambling outside the pocket.
They were holding it all the time. They had a lot of outside zones, outside runs where holding happens all the time.
I think that's why, after the Ravenwood game, we weren't sitting here saying the refs.
Yes.
Even after we got a bunch of penalties because they called it both ways.
Yes, exactly. Raven was getting it. Exactly.
Last night it felt very one-sided.
I completely agree. Let's waste no time. Let's get straight into this first half, okay? So one thing I will say about this first half is I want to give it props to the coaches because they had a lot of, they were having trouble with the play clock and against the Ravenwood game. They clearly went in the lab and really had these play calls firing. We had no delay of games, no timeouts because of almost delay of games. And this first drive, it was evident we were getting the ball snapped with 25, 30 seconds left on the play clock. So great job by them to get that fixed.
The offense was
the first half was the best offensive product I've seen on the field, especially with the opponent. I know we blown out some lesser competition, but that was just sophisticated, efficient offensive football in the first half. Yeah. And we're gonna start with we drive down the field. I mean immediately, and we're gonna start with the first touchdown to Lucas Young. Producer Chuck, pull up the first play. Now here, before we get into this play, I want to shout out the great Guy Lipscomb. Okay, after he loves the fact that we show highlights, but he also told me he was like, it'd be awesome if you had the Tony Romo highlighter drawn out, and I was like, that's a great idea by producer Guy. Okay, so I've got the highlighter going right here, right now. So let's go into the play first. Now we're going to show you before it happens. They're going to line up in the Josh Heupel stack. Producer Chuck, you can let this roll. All right, now we're going to look at now here's a guy on 3rd and 20, Lucas Young. We're going to give him a two-way go. That means he has the opportunity based on the coverage to take it to the sideline or throw it right up the seam. Gaga's just going to kind of run out there. Will's at the top of the screen is going to have another two-way go, and Luke Thompson's going to go and run and out here. Okay, now we're going to see it we're going to line up in twins, shift outside, okay? And you're going to see Lucas decide based off the coverage to take the seam. Gaga just kind of floats out there, but look at that time. Brewer has time and just delivers a good football to the back of the end zone, and Lucas makes a great catch for the first touchdown. Producer Chuck, you can let it roll one more time while Jett talks it out.
Yeah, just a great play here. I mean, the chemistry these two have built up over the years is just remarkable to watch. On the 3rd and 20 play right here, I don't know how Mount Juliet would ever let anyone get behind them, but I think that just speaks to Lucas Young and the speed he has and the connection him and Brewer have. I mean, what a dot. To find him in the back of the end zone there, it's almost one where in the stands you're kind of like, like, is he in? Is he in? You can't really tell. He got both his feet in. Would have been an NFL touchdown. Great play by those two. And
that offensive line. Look, you can see it. I mean, he was standing back there. He wasn't touched. Clean jersey, yes. And it was hard to tell because the Mount Juliet end zones weren't really painted, so they were the same color as the field. But he did end up getting in, as you can see there. Okay. Now let's talk about Dr. Defense. They get the ball back, and we kind of stop, and we go a little back and forth, but they do end up kind of putting a little bit of a drive together, okay? They But we end up getting a stop, okay? Dr. Defense holds. We get the ball back. We end up missing the extra point, so it's 6-0. We get the ball back, and we're feeling really good. We put another drive together. Same thing. Operation looking clean, looking very sophisticated. Intermediate passes, quick passes, outside runs, deep passes. Yep. And we end up just getting stalled, and we end up kicking a field goal. We don't convert on the field goal. And so,
but we get all the way down.
But we get all the way down there.
I think we got a penalty late in that drive that kind of backed us up a little bit. Don't hate the call at all right there.
Don't hate the call.
We ended up missing it. But yeah, we had to figure out that operation because, like we've said all season, at some point in a close game, we're going to need the field goal unit.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And
yes.
You can't just avoid that. You can't just act like it's
all three phases matter.
Right,
There's a reason. Yes.
So yeah, I don't hate the call there at all.
Points matter, right? And on those first two drives, there's 4 points that we don't convert on. But I am super proud of the way because they kept fighting the entire game, that field goal unit. Now they drive down and they get the ball back on a quarterback run, kind of near the red zone. They punch it in, they convert. Now they're up 7-6. But the way Franklin responds, puts another drive together. Okay, and producer Chuck, can you go ahead and cue up play 2 on our second touchdown and give it a quick pause? All right, here's what I want to note. Here's what I want to talk about on this play, okay? You see they're lined up, okay? They're actually going to give a hard count, which what we talked about last game against the Ravenwood, how this is what we wanted to see. They do it here where they get lined up, see how the defense is going to line up, and then call a play on what's called a check with me. Producer Chuck, you can let it roll, and I'll talk through it. Look, you're going to see him hard count. All of them look over to the sideline, okay? They see the way they line up. Then they get the play call in. Shift, read, check. Brugaka flip sides. We're going to kick Jack Flynn out. Brewer gives the protection. He looks over to Lucas, gives a quick little signal, gives him the route. Righty, go. One step, drop. Look at Lucas. Deep ball, right in the bucket between two. Lucas makes one guy miss. Lucas makes two guys miss. And people are like, oh, he's going to get caught. Nope. No, he would not get caught. Gentry Neese gets caught right there. Mr. 80-20 never gets caught. Jett, producer Chuck, if you'll let it roll one more time so Jett can talk about this. What an exciting play. Just an unbelievable play. Making high schoolers look like middle schoolers out there.
It's literally, I mean, you crushed it. You hit it nail on the head. You can see the linebacker blitzing right there. That's what you get from that hard count. You know what they're in. You get a little sideline, you get the check.
You see Lucas pressed up top.
I love to see Jack Flynn shift out here. I love Gott switching sides. That just puts more stress on the defense, makes them adjust. Gives them, look at them. They have to adjust. It's a bigger chance where they can mess up. Throw the ball to Lucas Young. Get off me. Get off me. See ya. Dude, what a guy, dude. That was such an awesome play. It looked like a Ryan Williams play.
Oh, unbelievable. Wow, Ryan Williams comp there.
Just what a luxury to have a guy like that you can throw the ball to.
Yeah.
I think we actually thought, it looks like Brewer thought it was going to be man coverage. Corner ends up bailing. Doesn't matter.
But he's still pressed. If you're that close to Lucas Young, he's going to burn you, whether it's man or zone.
For sure. And that's just, this guy's just a monster. Brewer's going to put it there every time. Great blocking again. Well,
there was blitz. They blitzed.
Better protection.
They did blitz.
Great job by Bird knowing that blitz is
coming. Exactly. You got to get the ball out quick. With those who's you just did on that, I thought we were going to go back into who let the underdogs out, and I was like, we on the wrong segment here. But no, great play by him. Defense gets another stop. Dr. Defense holds. This is a beautiful 3-and-out here. He just really had them schemed up in the first half, and so they get a stop here. Tommy King was getting held and fought through it the entire game. Teagan was laying the wood there. He was just smacking people, filling those gaps in the run. And to your point, Andy was defending the pass really well. We get the ball back on a 2-minute drill with no timeouts left. On the 10-yard line, we put together a 90-yard drive. We hit some hitches to Lucas, who makes some plays, gets out there. We hit some Luke Thompson bubbles, which I always love. Hit me a Luke Thompson. Inject that into my veins, right? and then we end up around kind of across the midfield, and we were starting to run out of time. It's like, we need a shot play here. Insert play 3. I love this. Look at this. Motion, Luke's motion. One way, pump, roll out right. He's eyes downfield the whole time. On the run, beautiful deep ball to Wills, and what a play by Wills to get up there and score. As you can see, the 10 seconds left. Okay, 12-7 to get a touchdown. Bruce Chuck, you can let it play. Let's play that one more time so we can have Jett talk through it as well.
Yeah, that's just such an awesome play by Wills going up and making that happen. Great play by Brewer, being able to scramble and find his guy deep, trust his guy to make the play. Love seeing 7 to get going. He really got going in this game. Love to get him involved.
I know.
And I was really proud of the way Wills balled out.
That's a great point, because when Lucas is having the game he is, they're obviously they're gonna cover it, right? They're gonna shift cover up to, and we needed another guy to step up, and Wills answered the call to action. Okay, he stepped up and made some huge third down conversions, and obviously that huge touchdown.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it wasn't even just the deep ball for Wills. He made a lot of good great comeback route on a really crucial third down late in the game. Had another third down conversion when Brewer kind of scrambled right. So great job by Wills.
We go into half up 20-7. We get the 2-point conversion on that because it was like 18, and then we 2-point conversion. You guys get it. Okay, so we're up 20-7 at half. At this halftime, Jett, I'm feeling about as good as I felt.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm like, we're balling. Operation looks smooth and everything. But the one thing that's in the back of our mind is like, hey, listen. Mount Juliet's an 8-0 team for a reason. We can't let them hang around. We got to keep it going, make some halftime adjustments, see how they will adjust to ours, and then try to adjust. Do a little self-scouting at halftime. Jett, what say you at your halftime feeling?
Yeah, exactly what you said. You killed it. Felt very confident. Yeah. Everything we'd been doing was working. We were clicking on all cylinders. The offense was smooth.
Yes.
Cutting right through the defense every drive. Even then when we didn't turn it into points, we were still driving down there. We were being successful. Methodically calling plays, getting the offense going. Something that really shocked me.
Yeah, talk to me. What you got?
Was Mount Juliet running so much man coverage?
They were running a lot of man coverage, and they ended up giving up a bunch of big plays through the air. 3 big plays through the air. So obviously they probably went into halftime, and their speech was like, "Coach, defensive coordinator, getting on the horn." It's like, "What are you doing? Yeah. What are we doing?"
I think they watched that Ravenwood film and watched how much Ravenwood blitzed and having success getting pressure on us and blitzing, and tried to copy that. But that's the kind of thing you do sporadically.
Yes.
You don't just run cover 0 as your game plan when you have 7 and 3 and 5 and 10 and 9. Like you just can't. Yep. So really just a kind of a boneheaded move there by Mount Juliet. And I love to see our coaches and our plays be able to capitalize for sure.
I will say this. What do we say, Jett? Control the middle 8. We talked about that. We stopped Mount Juliet from scoring. We scored to go in, and that's super important because they got the ball to come out the second half. They put a drive together. They end up hitting a deep shot. They ran the ball a lot, and so they hit some good play actions and RPOs off of that. They hit a deep shot post. Their quarterback played well, put it on the money. He was slinging it around the yard. We get down 20, so now we're up 20-13 after about Juliet's first drive in the second half. We end up getting stopped. We end up getting stopped, and this was a frustrating drive. This is where the penalties really start to come in. We move the ball a little bit. We get a penalty that backs us up. Okay, we're like at 3rd and 20. Brewer makes a great scramble out play. Okay, so here's what happened. So it was like second.
Luke Thompson, right?
Yeah. It was second 20. We throw kind of a mesh route to Luke Thompson. It's like. And then he catches it on the sideline, gets hit, we think laid out of bounds, so we're expecting a catch and 15. Not only do they not throw the flag for the late hit, they call it an incomplete pass somehow, and they take 30 seconds to decide and then don't reset the play clock to the point where the ref was holding the ball and would not spot the ball, and then backed us up even more. So we're screaming,
under 10
reset
seconds,
the play. This is the signal when you tell the box guy to reset the play clock. So we're telling them we're not up there telling them to raise the roof. We're telling them to reset the play clock, okay? And they don't, and so we have to rush this play, which forces Brewer to have to scramble out. He makes a great play hitting Jack Flynn, making it from a 3rd and 20 to a 4th and 4, and we're across the 40. Special teams have been kind of up and down, so we decide to go for it here, and we end up going Wildcat, and we run we had scored a 2-point conversion on Wildcat power right, so we fake that, run counter left, and Gock's forced to cut it up early as opposed to getting the outside, and 4th and 4 is just a long way to go when you're running up the middle. Jett, what say you?
Yeah, it was a block away. Tough play, tough beat looking back. But I really want to harp on that.
Yeah, talk to me.
That play clock. Yeah. Because it was really crazy. I couldn't believe it in the stands. How they literally did not. They set the ball like a complete pass, and in under 10 seconds, the ref picks it up, moves them back 4 yards, and puts it down, and they don't reset the play clock.
Exactly.
We're in the stands screaming, play clock,
which
trying to
is
get the rest of the
team.
They need to reset it.
Exactly.
The ref had the ball in his hands and reset the ball. You have to reset the play clock. They messed up our rhythm. That was the one play where it looked like we were out of sorts.
When in reality, it was because the refs were delaying everything. And then when there's a referee timeout, you've got to reset the play clock because that's no fault of the offense.
No, not at all. And we couldn't have snapped the ball. They literally picked it up. The ref had the ball in his hand. I thought that was ridiculous. Never seen anything like that.
Not only that. Oh, real quick, I just want to briefly glance over something. after they scored to make it 2013, they go surprise onside. Okay, they recover it. They do recover it, but it's within 10 yards, and so they do give us the ball spotted within 10 yards. But the literal rule on an onside kick is if the kickoff team touches the ball within 10 yards, that's a flag for illegal touching. A ref on the sideline throws the flag for illegal touching, and then none of the other refs even acknowledge. It's not like they acknowledged it, talked about it, and then waved it off. That would have still been a bad call and the wrong call, but at least they would have been like at least trying. No one even noticed it, and the ref kind of looked around, okay, sneakily. The Pink Panther music must have been going on in his head because he just kind of snuck up, took the flag, and put it right back in his pocket like nobody saw. And we were raising pandemonium.
We were screaming at him.
Okay?
I know he could hear us.
Because of your war cry last night, or because of your war cry in the preview episode, whatever, all the things you said, the mama bears took it to heart, and they all went out and bought cowbells. You didn't even tell them to buy cowbells, but they went out and bought cowbells, and so they were going nuts. There was cowbells. It was pandemonium, and none more than probably that moment right there. Sorry, we skipped over that. I didn't want to cut you off, but I wanted to mention.
I'm glad you mentioned the onside kick. I'm also glad you mentioned the Franklin faithful.
Yes,
did they show out?
Yes, exactly.
I was so proud of the way that we all showed support for the boys last night, and it was everybody. It was a group effort. It stomping in the stands, getting loud. I loved it. I know the boys felt that energy, and there were so many times where it was a big third down or fourth down, and we got really loud, and it was a big stop.
Exactly.
They really do feed off that energy. That's how we show love. That's how we show support, and it does impact the game.
Because
as happy and as I am about the support we showed, we need to do a little class here.
Okay.
The next step. We got loud.
Students of the stands.
Step 2. We got to know when to get loud, right?
Yes. Okay.
So on offense, I know. It's really exciting to watch us have big plays on offense, get first downs, drive the ball. But the reason we get loud on defense is to mess up the offense's communication, and that's exactly why we need to be quiet when our offense is on the field. And I know their stands are getting loud, and we want to battle back. We want to go toe to toe with their stands.
Mano y mano. How you doing? Keep it moving.
When we're on offense, it's quiet time. That's when it's about our offense being able to communicate, get the call in, and defense is when we get loud.
Yes, get loud. When you see
Dr.
Defense signaling plays, that gives you your signal. When Dr. Defense is out there, you get loud. Okay, when our offense is out there, and if you go to college and NFL stadiums, when the offense is on the field, you'll see some graphics on like the Jumbotron, and usually it reads something like quiet offense at work. Okay, you know what I mean? So like that means you want to have them have good communication. You want them to be able to get everything in clearly. And then after a big play is when we get rowdy on offense.
Exactly. Yeah, after a touchdown, that's when we celebrate the offense. But during the drive and after a big first down, throw up a cheer. Let's go.
Clap it up.
But then we get rid of it. We mess up the communication when we're on defense. That's what we're trying to do, mess up the offense's communication. So when we're on offense, we need to do everything to preserve our offensive communication.
But I do love, because when you give a war cry, I listen too. Okay, I don't know if I heard what they heard, which is you saying go out and buy a cowbell, but I should have heard that. Okay.
Hey, that cowbell was loud.
It was loud.
I got a cowbell.
And especially because Mount Juliet.
It was sick.
Mount Juliet's far away, so there weren't as many people that made the trip, and so for us to kind of supplement that with the cowbells was fantastic. I
was so proud of
bringing the thunder
for sure.
Okay, they get the fourth down. They get the fourth down stop. They drive down. We do hold them to a field goal. Dr. Defense, the bend don't break, right? We make a stop. Huge play by Andy to knock the ball down in the end zone.
Huge.
And the quarterback he was good on the run too. He kind of did a little sidearm sling. Andy knocked it down. It would have been a touchdown if he didn't do that. And the reason that was so huge is because we hold them to a field goal, make it 20-16, is the next play, which is play number 4, I believe. Okay, let's cue it up, producer Chuck. I mean, look at this. He doesn't even need a pass play or an offensive play. Lucas Young gets a kick return. 6 down, up 4. Need a big play. Smooth. Loses the ball. Gets the ball back. And he could go all the way. People yell, he's going to get caught again. No, Gentry Neese gets caught. Lucas Young does not get caught, okay?
Peace signs.
Yes, peace signs. Look, he's throwing up the deuces. He's hyped up. Look, he's saying that's number 3. 1, 2, 3. Third touchdown. 3 touchdowns for number 3. Lucas Young. All 3 phases of the game in special teams. Jett, if you don't love that, you don't love football.
I agree. Just a great play by a great player.
We go up 27-16, I think, at this point. We're up by 11. They drive down. They really respond here, okay? And they needed it, okay?
And that's one where, obviously, Lucas made an insanely great play.
Yes.
Defensively, they just had a long drive, got to stop,
exactly,
got off the field, forced a field goal. And then the next play, they're back on the field.
Yeah,
so obviously, you never take away a touchdown.
Absolutely. We'll take that all day. We needed it. Go up 2 scores.
It is tough on the defense to have 2 back-to-back long drives there.
As a coach, you're thinking in terms of possessions.
Yeah.
Right? You're not thinking, hey, how many points am I up by? You're saying, how many scores am I up by? How many possessions am I up by? Because you only get so many possessions. There's a finite amount. And so going up 2 possessions and they always talk about give your defense a 2-score lead, okay? Yeah. And so that's exactly what happened, but it happened so quick. You're right. They didn't have as much time to catch their breath. Yeah. And then Mount Juliet gets the go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just you don't have that time to make adjustments on the
exactly
sideline.
Right. They're watching film under the tent. Right. They got time to make adjustments. Yep.
Yeah. And they don't get that time when they're on the field back to back. So it's like the mistakes that happened on that first drive, the plays that they were able to get. We don't get to go to the sideline and fix that and make adjustments because it was so back to back, bang bang.
Mount Juliet gets the ball back, and I think we do stop them, but then the penalty gives them an automatic first down. Yeah. They drive down, they score. They do attempt a 2-point conversion, they don't get it, so we're still up by 5, which is good because we're up by a touchdown. They need more than just a field goal. 22-7. We then go 3 and out. We have a first down. It's 1st and 10. We have a 5-yard loss on a run play, which is putting us in a tug. Now we're 2nd and 15 behind the chains. Punt the ball back. They drive down, make another good score. They go up 30-27 with about 6 minutes left, and we've got all 3 timeouts, so we've got plenty of time. And this is the last drive of the game.
Yep.
Down 30-27.
How confident did you feel?
I felt so confident because the offense was not playing really well, and that's 6 minutes with 3 timeouts left is ages of time. Yeah. I mean, that's so much time. I felt all the confidence in the world, and they proved me right. Yeah, they were getting not only were they driving the ball down the field, but they were what, as old Hank Stram, the old head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs back in Super Bowl 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the famous for the toss power trap. He made up this word and said we need to matriculate the ball down the field. Matriculate has nothing to do with that. He just kind of made that up. So, but we did. We matriculated the ball down. We matriculated the ball down the field, and what that means is we're moving the ball, but we're not doing it off big plays. We're just kind of, hey, first down here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here, and we were staying in bounds and we were milking that clock to make sure that Mount Juliet doesn't get the ball back.
Yeah, just the control that 15 had on the offense.
Yes.
There. I think everyone in the stands kind of felt confident.
Yes.
You see him back there, cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
You would think we were up by 40 if you saw his demeanor in the pocket.
And
just,
the other offense,
other
offense will act as he acts. So they're all looking at him, which is why that's so important. We end up driving down, and we get so excited because we throw the ball to Lucas for his 4th touchdown, for the game-winning touchdown. Cue that up, producer Chuck. How about this? Look at this. Quick hitch. Boom. 1 move. 2 move. 3 moves. There he goes again. He's another man amongst boys. How you doing? Keep it moving. Touchdown. He's throwing up the 4s, right? But Jett, what is there on the lettuce?
Just some mustard on the lettuce, dude. And it's such a good play by Lucas.
I like mustard on sandwiches, not lettuce. On lettuce. Oh my goodness!
It's such a great play, and it makes you sick to your stomach to watch it.
I can't even. I couldn't even watch. I had to close my eyes.
Oh my gosh! It's the game winning.
For those viewers who weren't there,
Carson said it in the stands.
Lucas is your older brother. Yes.
He said he just scored the game winning touchdown. They took it away from him. That's exactly what
I mean, this was going to be his 4th touchdown. He's already had in a historic game. To take this game-winning touchdown away from this kid who's had such a good game, I hate it for him. I hate it. I mean, and honestly, it's like if you watch the playback, I mean, you just saw it. There was action on the offensive line, but I just don't think in that moment the refs have to be the one to decide the outcome of the game. This isn't the middle of the 3rd quarter on a 1st or 2nd down, okay? If you watch the offensive line in high school, Jett, to your point, what could you could call it? When could you call holding?
Every single play. And it wasn't that one of those where like Bruce rolling outside the pocket.
He got the ball out so quickly.
Grab. Yeah. You literally could have not blocked a single person and he's still getting that ball out. Exactly. I watched the first play of the game was a hit, or the first drive of the game, they had a hitch to Lucas. And watching back on the tape, Brewer started to throw the ball before Lucas's first step landed on the ground. I swear, dude, it was a 5-yard hitch. And Brewer literally starts rearing back to throw before his first step on his foot.
That's
lands
called
on the
great
ground.
anticipation.
So that's the chemistry these guys have. You could have left the whole defensive line unblocked, and they're still completing that pass, and it's still a touchdown. I would have liked to see the refs swallow his whistle there. It's kind of like NBA playoffs.
Yes.
NBA playoffs in the end of the game when it's crunch time.
Let the boys play.
Yeah, they let the boys play. They let you be a little bit more physical.
Yes.
They let the players decide stuff on the court.
Because the players and coaches should be the one to decide the players should be the one to decide the outcome of the game, not the refs.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Hate to see that moment taken away from them. It still makes me sick to my stomach.
And it was. And I had that feeling in the moment. I was almost dumbfounded because everybody who didn't see it, they're cheering, they're going crazy. We just scored the game-winning touchdown, and the reaction on our faces was about this right here because we saw it. Everybody was cheering around us, and then you zoomed in on us, and we were like,
"Yeah, I had to." I jumped the guardrail.
Yes,
I start pacing.
Yes,
I couldn't stand there any longer. I had to get.
Carson's like on my eye. I'm like, I don't blame you, pal. All right, so we get backed up to a 4th and 10, but look at the boys don't give up. They fight. It's 4th and 10. They just had a gut-wrenching call on the way back.
4th and 20.
4th and 20.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, 4th and 10. Okay, so we're gonna show this 4th and 10 first. I'm gonna bring back out the producer guy highlighter. Okay, so we're gonna show this play now. Lucas, here's a guy right here. We're gonna get the ball to on 4th and 10. It's about players, not plays. So we're gonna run these two guys, the outside guys, clear out the safeties on deep posts, okay? And then once they're cleared out, we're gonna run Lucas on like a 10-yard out at the sticks right underneath, okay? The backside's gonna run across as kind of a check down just in case he's in a Brewer's vision. We're gonna slide the protection left, which means the running back is gonna go right. So when you slide the protection left right there, the running back has to go right. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like, players, not plays. And to see how it acted out, look at this throw. Brewer on 4th and 10, ice in his veins, throw, great anticipation, and boom. And I want you guys to watch this, keep watching. Look, he stares him down, right? He throws the ball up. He knows he's a man amongst boys. And look, he said, pound the chest, all right? Pound the chest.
Gosh,
who is this?
He's
him, right? If you don't love that, I don't know. You don't love football,
yeah,
right? I mean,
does
that not fire you up to get the first down?
Once again, sounding like beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Only took me 3 episodes.
That's why you watch film. That's why you watch film,
I really
right there.
thought about it that time, too.
Yeah, sorry, producer.
Let's go! Man, the chemistry these guys have.
Oh, my goodness.
Brewer said he threw it so early, just trusting his guy was going to be there. And he was. Dropped in the bucket. What a throw. What a catch. What great blocking by the O-line. Once again, had a wall in front of him on the biggest play of the game up to this point. And those two just made it happen. Not just those two. I take that back.
Right.
Those 11 made it happen because
yes.
nothing is a two players in football. The O-line was there blocking. The other two receivers had to clear out to get Lucas. Looked like we got a little bit of a man coverage look there with help from the safety over the middle.
Which means
helping
they take
the
them
linebackers
out.
in the middle. So you get Lucas man-to-man. Exactly what you want. That's exactly what they were expecting drawing that play up.
And you want your matchups. You want to go to your.
Who do you go to on 4th and 10?
You go to your players. You go to the Jimmies and the Joes, right? And so I completely agree. They ran double post, and normally, and props to this because a lot of receivers, immature receivers, when they know they're probably not getting the ball, they just kind of jog it out. And if they would have jogged that, Lucas would have ran into him, and multiple guys would have been able to cover. Multiple defensive guys would have been able to cover multiple receivers at once. But they hustled. They ran the two posts, okay, which usually works against like palms, which is cover fours or quarters, because that safety has to make a decision. He takes one post, you go underneath. He takes this post, you're taking a shot. Okay, so it's a good play design altogether. But I love he saw the matchup inside. He know what he was getting. Yeah. To your point, he was in the zone.
That was coming out of a timeout too.
Yeah, so they had time to talk it
props
over.
To them, for getting the right play in there.
Absolutely.
In a big moment.
Okay. Here we go.
I don't want to
we
do
get
this
the ball
the next
first.
5
We
minutes,
get the ball 1st and 10 after that first down. We get a hold immediately. Big moment to back us up. 1st and 20 immediately after the change, after moving the chains after such a big play. We get down to 3rd and 20, and then we get a sack on 2nd down. Okay, now it's 3rd and 25.
I think 3rd away.
He threw it away? He got rid of it? Okay, yeah. He got rid of it. Okay. So we've got...
That was that smash play.
Smash play,
Thompson, and rolled out,
got rid of it. Okay, so 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20.
3rd and 20. We end up throwing a deep ball to like the end zone as well. We thought it probably was a pass interference.
3rd and 20, we tried to hit Wills on the out, get a little better.
That's right. He threw it high. So 2nd and 20 was one of the plays we took a deep shot. We thought one of the plays should have been a pass interference on the set it down before.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no flag called. We're not getting the call. To your point, we end up at a 3rd and 20. We throw the ball, try to get Wills on the back, which had worked earlier. Okay. And now it's 4th and 20. And we send out Mr. Wayne Wells, who's our punter and kickoff specialist, who hasn't kicked a football all season, for a 52-yard game-tying field goal. And my one reaction, actually, you know what? I'm going to let the play speak for itself. Producer Chuck, pull up the kick. This is for the game. 26 seconds left.
Can we turn it off now? Can we not watch it twice, please? Oh my gosh.
My first reaction in time, and still is what a great kick.
Yeah, 100%.
He got a hold of that on a 52-yard field goal. I mean, you saw how high it hit on the goalpost. Yeah. I mean, NFL players hit the goalpost for 52-yard field goals. And if anything, they would miss them wide on 52-yard field goals.
D1 college Power 4 kickers are short on 52, 53-yard field goals every single week. So a guy that's never kicked a field goal in his life, I have so much confidence in 2-3. So proud of him for that kick.
Destroyed that. And it's just
how many inches?
Oh my gosh!
2 inches? Are we 2
goodness.
inches away there from that kick going in?
I mean, so close. I just hate it for these boys because they played so well. They fought to have it in like that. Is just brutal, but honestly, great kick by him. It's not like this is not one of those where you blame the kicker. This is one of those where you're like, that gives me confidence that he can go kick another 52-yard field goal without having to kick a field goal all season. So
yeah, so much confidence in 2-3 going forward. Excited to see what he can do in the kicking game. Mm-hmm. Man, I just. the emotions there.
Yes.
It's something we haven't really felt all season.
I know. It's one of those gut wrenchers,
We've lost tough games that really hurt after, but we haven't had one where it's like,
it's right there. Yeah, so close. It should have gone
right out of your hand. I
mean, we had Mount Juliet beat the whole game. It's one of the games we won. But that's football. That's life.
There's so
that's
much
how it goes.
positive.
And there was so much positive. We just showed you 100 highlight plays. Okay. Jett, any final thoughts before we head into the Pulse of the Nation with the rest of the lightning round?
I'm really just proud of the boys.
I'm so proud of the boys.
First half, we had an 85-yard touchdown drive, a 90-yard touchdown drive, a 2-minute 90-yard touchdown drive. Really impressive.
No timeouts.
Second half, just looking back, you're kind of like, all I could feel after the game is, how did we lose?
Yeah. No offensive touchdowns in the second half.
No offensive, but we had 3 drives on offense. First drive, we get the play clock play with Luke Thompson. We get 3rd and long. We get 4th and short, 1 block away from getting that conversion. Second drive, we get a -5-yard run, 2nd and 15, 5-yard pass, 3rd and 10. A fingertips post to Wills, 3 and out. The third drive was that game-winning drive. We literally had 3 drives of offense in the second half. It's just really, really hard the way that this one played out. I think it comes back to penalties. And it really does.
Big moments.
Every single time when our offense got stopped, it was us. They're not stopping us. They didn't do a single thing to stop us. We stopped ourselves with penalties. And I don't know. I really don't know how you try to clean up penalties during the week. Do you know any? I know it's discipline, but I know these boys are disciplined. I know Coach Adkins that's one of the things he really focuses on. And we see him doing the push-ups and stuff out on the sideline. I don't know at this point.
I do like the push-ups. I like getting on them in the moment. I do like that. We could hear Coach Atkins being like, after love you, pal. You know what I mean? Still showing it, right? Like, we care about you, but we got to coach you up. I do think one thing it comes down to is reps. On anything, it's about reps. And so, like, for 2-minute drill, you practice 2-minute drill in certain situations. You practice 4-minute drill. You have the ball 30 seconds, no timeouts. You know what I mean? You practice red zone. It's all about reps in the situations. And so it's just like the way I've seen it and experienced try to be coached up is not only through, like, obviously consequences, but also simulating a situation where in practice, get reps, run a drill, find it in a scrimmage where the quarterback is scrambling out right or a player scrambling near the sideline, and you have to get a reaction on how to pull up at the end, or if someone's pushing them out of the sideline, how to not give that extra jump. You just have to put these boys in the same situation, okay, and find a way where they can just get reps at practicing and harp on it all week. Do it every day, right? Get reps to where it comes in the game. It almost is a muscle memory and natural reaction. That's with anything. Yeah. Reps.
I hear you, but it's also week 10. And
I don't know. I agree. And emotions are high too. Emotions are tough.
Emotions are very high.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think it's a fixable thing. And I really think it has a lot to do with focus, too. I think,
100%.
you know, these boys care so much. They're so passionate about this game, about what they do. I think they just, in the moment, they need to focus on the little things, focus on what's right in front of them.
And what Coach Atkins said was, you turn that from a we play to a me play.
I love
right?
that. I love hearing that from the stands.
Absolutely. And so that's the whole thing. It's like it's selfish to try to just get that extra because of the way a player is feeling to get that extra juice when in reality it's going to cost your team 15 yards.
That's exactly. I remember my junior year in the summer, we had a scrimmage against Summit, and I got flagged for a 15-yard penalty, jawing off. You know, they hit my guy late, and I was going to.
Exactly. I love protecting your boys and everything, but just be a little smarter about it.
The intentions are good.
Yes, I love that, and I'm proud of them for sticking up for each other.
I get called over to the sideline. Coach Holcomb, shout out Coach Holcomb. Choose me out. Me out. My mom is in the stands hearing every word. After the game, he pulls me aside, says, "Hey man, I want you to know, like I love you, and the reason I'm so hard on you is because I know if you get a penalty like that in a game that hurts your team, you're going to take it harder than anyone because you care about this team and you don't want to do anything that's going to hurt your team." And that really put it into perspective for me and helped me in the moment, in the game, to focus on my team, focus on what really matters.
Absolutely.
What do you need? Do you need to get that little get back to a guy that pushed you late?
Yeah.
Like for your ego?
Yeah.
What matters to you more?
Yeah,
what matters to you
more?
more?
First and 10 versus first and 25. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Fourth down stop versus first down. Right. All right, Jed, let's go into the lightning round, pulse of the nation, the rest of the game. Centennial drops one to Page, 49-7. Huge game by Page there. Fairview 20, Sycamore 34. You had something to say real quick?
No.
Okay. Indy 6, Brentwood 20. That's actually a close one. Ravenwood 32, Oakland 31. Just a barn burner of a game. Spring Hill 10 versus Tullahoma. Shout out Coach Marin and Coach the boys. Spring Hill 10, Tullahoma 31. Summit 20, Nolensville 13, a close one. BGA 55, Webb 14. And then probably the private school powerhouse of the game, FRA 7, CPA 21. I'm so proud of these boys.
Agreed.
I cannot wait to watch them play. They fire me up more than anything. We will see y'all for the preview episode of Overton. It's senior night.
Senior night, baby.
Let's just show out. Go ahead, make your plans. To tell everybody, block off your calendar for Friday night. You'll be there at Overton. Jett, it's always a pleasure as always.